Good morning, grade 6. How are you all today? Ramadan Kareem to all of you. Okay, today we will continue with our topic of descriptive writing, and we will focus on how choice of words affects our writing. Ready, everyone? To understand what choice of words mean, let's look at this short video. We will start our topic today with a question, and that is, read the extract and decide whether you would describe the atmosphere as happy or miserable. Select the words that suggest this to you. So in the next slide, you will find a small passage which you need to read and understand. And then tell me, what do you think about this passage? What kind of passage is it? Is it a happy passage or is it a miserable passage? Everything seemed dead. The grey trees stood motionless as the dusty, polluted air swirled around them. No birds sang from their branches. The ground was thickly carpeted with ash, grey, and contaminated. With no sign of any blade of grass, the man hopelessly searched the barren landscape. He was utterly alone. Now let's highlight the words which are used here, the descriptive words which are describing the passage and will help us in understanding the atmosphere of the passage. Everything seemed dead. Now dead is a descriptive word which is describing what everything looked like. The grey trees stood motionless. Now how are the trees? They are grey, they are not green, they are grey trees and they are standing motionless. They are not swaying here and there, they are motionless as the dusty, polluted air swirled around them. Now dusty and polluted, these two are the words which are describing the air. No birds sang from their branches. Another description of this passage is, were there any birds? No. So you cannot hear the sound of the birds. The ground was thickly carpeted with ash, grey, and contaminated. Now over here, these words, thickly carpeted, ash, grey, and contaminated are describing the ground. So they are telling us how the ground was. The ground was covered with a thick layer of ash and it was all contaminated. Do you know what is ash? When something burns down completely, this dust or powder that is left behind after the burning is called ash. So this ground was covered with ashes. And was it a thin layer of ashes? No, it was a thick layer of ashes. It covered the ground and it was all contaminated. It was all polluted. It was dirty. With no sign of any blade of grass. Blade of grass is a metaphor over here, which is telling us that there was no grass at all because the ground was thickly contaminated with ash. The man hopelessly searched the barren landscape. Now here they are describing the man. How was the man? He was in a hopeless situation. He was hopeless. He was not very happy. He was not very hopeful about anything. He was looking here and there and the landscape in the area, and it was all barren. Barren means there's nothing growing on it. It's all destroyed. It's desolate. So the place is a barren landscape and he was utterly alone. So this man was all alone in a destroyed and desolate area where there were trees which were grey, there was pollution, there was thickly carpeted ground of ash, and it was all contaminated. So after reading all this, what image comes to your mind? How are these descriptive words or the choice of words by the writer create an image in your mind? What kind of image did it create? Did it create of a very beautiful and lovely place? Or do you think that these words had an effect which was a very dark, gloomy, destroyed place? What happened? Yes, words have effects. The choice of the words the writer makes has an effect, and this has affected the passage also. Now from the previous passage, this is the kind of image that is created in our mind. The trees are motionless, there are no birds, the leaves are dried, the ground is covered with dust and ash, the air around is polluted. So the kind of image that created in our mind was this. Why this image created in our mind? Because of the writer's choice of words. Okay students, now what we are going to do here is, in the same passage, we are going to change the descriptive words and we are going to see what effect does the choice of word have on a writing and what kind of picture it is going to create in our mind once we change those words. Everything seemed alive. The green trees swayed as the fresh air swirled around them. Birds sang from their branches. The ground was thickly carpeted with fresh green grass. The man hopefully searched the fertile landscape. He was very happy. Now all of a sudden, the whole atmosphere of the passage has changed. Before it was all gloomy and dark. Why? Because of the choice of words. And now it has become fresh and green and happy because of the choice of words. Now what kind of image is created in your mind? Now see the image that is created in our minds. It's fresh, it's green, there is grass everywhere, there are birds around. It's a nice picture that has created in our minds. Why? Because of the choice of words. So the atmosphere of the whole passage changed because we chose different words. Now it has become happy. The first passage was very gloomy. So choice of words have a very big impact on the atmosphere of the writing or of the story. So understood all of you students that how choice of words can affect our writing.